People have already jumped on the low-hanging fruit here, Mike. 3-0 this season, Vegas against the Wild. So clearly we've got no chance. Like, there's a lot more that goes into that. Initial impressions that you guys have, just, I know you'll go way deeper in some of your columns and some of your colleagues at The Athletic, but what do you look at in this matchup? What stands out?
Well, I just think this is as deep a team as they possibly could face. I mean, they are, you have Jack Eichel, who's a Hart Trophy candidate. They're one of the best blue lines in the NHL. They're getting great goaltending from Adin Hill. Guys like Vorfiev, right? Has just been unbelievable this year with 34, 35 goals. They just up and down their lineup. They're as deep as you could be. Stone's a proven playoff performer. Petro is going to be a physical thorn in the Wild side. Shea Theodore is as good an offensive defenseman as there is. William Karlsson is a proven guy that's one of the great penalty killers in the game. Jack Eichel is one of the great two-way forwards in the game. He'll be on my Selke ballot, and Hart ballot probably. So it's going to be tough. They are a little banged up, right? We haven't seen, Hurdle, obviously, who I didn't even mention, who's a true stud. Hurdle missed a lot of time down the stretch with the shoulder. Eichel hasn't played the last 4 or 5 games of the year. They're trying to rest him up. Theodore just got back to the lineup from his Four Nations wrist injury. So they're also got some guys, but all those guys are going to be playing in the playoffs. So it's going to be a tough matchup. There's no doubt about it. And the Wild have also lost 9 of their last 11 against them. Now, the ones this year, a little weird. Not that you can't win on the second of back-to-backs, but all second of back-to-backs with tough travel, like the last one they played where they're in Dallas and come back to play the next day.
Playing Kaprizov and Acker out for
exactly. So I don't know how much credence, how much stock I take into this year's games, but for a team like the Wild were the last team in the NHL to lose to Vegas when they were an expansion team. Like Vegas was the Wild patsy, and this is a Vegas team that was good right out of the hop, but they could never beat Minnesota. But it turned belly up for the Wild big time here the last couple of years, 3 years. But you know what? I look back at that playoff series in 2021 that the Wild forced a 7th game. I think they 100% win that series if they're healthy. They were just ravaged. I mean, Ek was playing on a sprained MCL. Kaprizov was banged up. I mentioned Susie got hurt. Jonas Brodin got hurt 5 minutes into Game 7. Their most irreplaceable defenseman at that point in that series, and you lose him immediately in that Game 7. And that was another series. That's 4 straight series the Wild have lost in the first round where they actually had a lead in the series. And that was the first one. They had a lead in the Vegas series, a lead in the St. Louis series, a lead in the Dallas series, and the series before that as well. So, that's something that, don't jump for joy yet if the Wild jump out to a 1-0 lead in Game 1, that's for sure.
Well, and that's like my question too, is like, I know it's all intangible and kind of up in the air, I guess, but, they've had leads in previous series before. Like, does kind of the adversity or the experience or the scar tissue they gained this year of what they've been through maybe help them be a little stronger mentally, physically, just like anything in that essence of if they get in that situation again against Vegas that might be able to help them out? Like, is it all kind of, there's something to that, I think. I wonder if, like, not that they're going to go into the cup, but I'm saying I wonder if in a series like this, all of a sudden they have this experience from this year where they found a way that they can maybe have a little more, like they said, choose their heart this season, that they've been able to handle it better.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think so. I know that a lot of people think that resiliency, adversity, or just baloney, cliched words in pro sports, but I do think there is something to it. Like Faber after the game in Vancouver the other night, I asked him, like, talk about a game where they had everything against them. It's a must-win game. Okay, they're down 2-0 in the third. They are without Middleton and Spurgeon. They're playing a guy named Cam Crotty that everybody had to Google, including the coach. Then they lose Declan Chisholm for the entire second period. Then Faber scores, and they have the most bogus quick whistle in history that Faber would have scored the tying goal on the same shift. Yeah. And yet they overcame all that and won. And Faber said afterwards, like, adversity shapes a team. And what team in the league on the ice, I'm not talking about like what Columbus has had to deal with this year and all that stuff, but what team in the league on the ice this year has had to deal with as much adversity as this team? just over and over again, injury after injury after injury. Most man games in the league, if you take out Gabriel Landeskog, who, just gave them 82 right at the beginning. This is somebody that hadn't played in 3 years. So I kind of, discount Colorado. Not that Colorado didn't deal with adversity this year, but I just think that when you're a team that's already 15.7 under the cap, and you're without Kaprizov and Eriksson for as long as they were, Kaprizov missed exactly half the season. Eriksson missed 43% of the season. Brodin missed 32 games. Spurgeon missed the huge time with the injury that came on the dirty play against Nashville. Middleton had the broken wrist and dealt with what he was just dealing with right now. Jacob Lauko was out over and over and over again. It's just been nonstop. And yet, look at their final tallies, right? I mean, Goudreau, Faber, Boldy, and Rossi, the only three guys that played 2 games, I think. Johansson didn't miss a lot, but there've been just a lot of guys out of lineup. And I just think that it does help you. Now, does that help you in a 7-game series against Vegas? Who knows? But I think let's put it this way. If they're down immediately in a game or things like that, the one thing that we know is that this team can rally. We've seen it over and over again this year. They've come back from 2 goals down myriad times, multiple times. So, I think that, do I think they're going to win a playoff series? I don't know. I mean, we've seen so many clunkers, them going to Long Island and going to Calgary, even last night, not being able to take care of business against an Anaheim team that they should easily beat. Now they're going up against one of the formidable contenders in the West. I think it's going to be hard for them, but I definitely think all this helps.